That was a curtsy. I'm about to blow your mind because we are going to make the best Whole30 approved Neapolitan cheesecake. It's probably the only Whole30 cheesecake of your life. So here's the deal. Even the healthiest person that I know every once in a while craves desserts. The reality is, Whole30 or not, you're gonna want something sweet after a long day. It's just gonna happen. So I'm gonna show you how to make a Whole30 approved, delicious cheesecake, and we're gonna make it high in protein. The base is gonna be cashews. In order for a cheesecake to really read authentic cheesecake to me, it's gotta have a really nice smooth texture on the inside. It has to have a really yummy crust at the bottom, and the center has to be very flavorful. I'm gonna soak these cashews for 2 hours in water that was boiling. This makes them soft enough to blend up to be the base of our cheesecake. We're gonna leave these 2 hours. Meanwhile, if you'll follow me over this way into my office, I'm gonna show you how to make the crust. Okay, so it's gonna be about a cup of almonds, and then we're gonna use these dates. Make sure that they have all their pits taken out. They add sweetness, but they're also gonna bind the crust, and coconut flakes, and just a pinch of salt, because every dessert needs salt. I'm gonna blend these together. Okay, you want your almonds to look like a coarse almond meal. We want texture in the crust so that it's different from the filling. It almost looks like you're on a sandy beach and there are some shells. That's the texture we're going for. And then you're gonna add just enough coconut oil to bind it. You kind of want it to hold together. It looks like sand, and now we want to turn it into wet sand. Give it a check. Yeah, see? This is our crust. This is a spring-form pan. I would definitely spring for one if you don't have it yet. We're gonna take our crust, kind of flatten it out with my hands, get it even all the way around the edges, and then I'm gonna push this cup measurer all the way around. You can use anything with a flat bottom. Me. Just kidding. And I'm gonna stick this in the freezer to firm it up because it has coconut oil in it, so it'll get really nice and hard quickly. So our cashews are nicely soaked. Strain them into the sink. They're pretty soft to the touch. They're warm, but not hot. They break apart with ease. That's perfect, so I'm gonna bring them over to my food processor. So this is going to get a bunch of dates, our source of sweetness, and to that we're gonna add a pinch of salt, vanilla bean. Toss your bean in. Smells so good. Our lemon. All cheesecake has a tiny bit of tang. And last but not least, coconut oil. Coconut oil is gonna help firm it up in the refrigerator or freezer. And then add the milk. Start off with about a cup of unsweetened, double check, coconut milk, and then we'll check it out from there. Yeah, girl. I smell like a smoothie bar. Okay, just so that you can see what's happening, it's almost like a hummusy texture right now, and we want super duper smooth velvety, so we're gonna double the amount of liquid in here and let it keep rolling. Let's see what we got going on. Perfect! It's smooth, it looks creamy. Those vanilla beans look top notch. You wanna look fancy, throw a vanilla bean in something. So the center is gonna be vanilla. The second layer is gonna be chocolate. Chocolate and Whole30, can you believe it? For our chocolate layer, we're gonna add cacao nibs, cocoa powder, make sure it doesn't have any added sugar. And then we're gonna add chopped dates into it as well. So we're gonna have a lot of different textures in here. You'll have the crunch from the nib, and then you'll have chew from the date. And then give it a mix. So we got our vanilla, our chocolate, and lastly is gonna be our cherry. And these are thawed, unsweetened, frozen cherries, and they've got a beautiful, rich red hue. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more cherry, and then I'm just gonna pulse it a few times. So I want all the textures, like I said, to be consistent. I'm adding a little bit more coconut milk, and we shall build. First layer is gonna be cherry. I'll give it a little bit of a pat. I want to build concentric circles so that when you cut into it, it's got 3 different like fun levels of color. So we try to get the batter directly into the center. Another tap. Vanilla, straight into the middle. Select your stick of choice, back and forth. And this is where you can let your creativity out. I'm gonna stick this in the freezer for at least 4 hours. It's best if you can let it sit overnight, so it's a great dessert to make a day in advance. Yeah, it is solid. It looks beautiful. Open up my spring form. Ooh, yes! So this is best served not totally frozen because it'll be easier to cut. So I'm gonna sit this here for just a few minutes while we make a coconut whip. This is unsweetened coconut cream. The nice thing about the coconut is that it really like whips up and it does feel super decadent and creamy. So it's an absolutely perfect substitute. I'm gonna add a vanilla bean. I'm gonna scrape out the seeds. The vanilla bean really gives it like that warmth, sweet, almost sugary flavor just naturally from the bean, so it's a great addition. So we've got the whole bean going on in there, and now we are going to whip it. This is the good part. That bean is selling it. Oh, and then you end up with this thick, luscious, awesome cream. Are you kidding me right now? Look at this. And then we'll cut into it. This is your vanilla, your chocolate, your cherry, Neapolitan cheesecake. And on top, a dollop of our coconut whip and a tiny pinch of sea salt. All the things we wanted. It's super creamy in the middle, a delicious crust, and most importantly, it's soft and smooth. I'm gonna go take this and have a moment with it. Good luck on your Whole30 journey, and I shall see you next time.